the laptop.
It's raining cats and dogs over here.
Where are you?
I'm in Pashan,
Sorry, where?
Where is that?
Pune.
Pune.
Ah, I see. I really want to go to Pune. I've never been to Pune.
You've never been to
Heard
Pune?
it's
Where are you from?
Yeah, I'm in Gurgaon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gurleen, you should visit, especially in winters. Like I have been to Pune in December last year. Trust me, if you go in December, you will enjoy. Like I fell in love with the city with just 4 days. Within just 4
Really?
days. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, they have luxury of good weather, and there are a lot of hill stations also.
Yeah, it's like
right?
it's crazy. You know, if I'll turn my camera on, I'll be able to show you guys what's happening outside. Just give me a minute.
Sure. We'd love to see.
I'm expecting it to reach Mumbai very soon then, where I stay. Yeah, it's been crazy, man. So,
that's how it is.
wow.
Nice.
So it's like
Very
it's
nice.
like a small heaven kind of a place, and it's all covered with mountains and forests over here.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Mayank, which area in Pune is it?
I'm currently staying in Pashan.
Okay, Pashan. Yes, I remember Pashan.
Yeah, it's actually near to Hinjawadi.
No, Pashan I remember because last time when I was staying in this ICER Pune guest house. That's in Pashan Road. So that's how I'm familiar with Pashan.
Oh yeah. It's like a walkable distance from here.
Okay. So what are you guys drinking?
I was in Pune, I think last. Yeah, I was saying that I was also in Pune, I think around the same time, September, October, a few years back, and it was all lush green. It was just so beautiful, like hills on
it's always
sides, rainbow, and
So if you
Okay.
go
I'm
a
having,
little on the outskirts, you know, it's completely like it's like you would want to just settle there.
yeah.
It's like
So we
that.
actually went to Lonavala. So it was
Chiki.
That's close to Bombay, right? That's closer to
Lonavala
Mumbai.
is close to Mumbai. Lonavala is close to
peanut
Pune,
chicky, chocolate.
I've been there, and it's a great place.
Technically,
Yeah.
Lonavala is closer to Pune as compared to Mumbai.
Mumbai? Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I've been to a resort, man. Nice. It's a nice place. It's good.
Also, if any of you is into, yoga or meditation center, or any of you is a nature lover, then I think you should definitely have a visit to Igatpuri. It's a beautiful place, I've heard.
Yes.
2.5 hours
a
from
beautiful
Mumbai,
place.
I suppose.
Okay, so I think it's time, and it's the 8 of us, so maybe we can start. And before we start, what are we drinking, guys? Are you okay? So
Hazelnut
what is
latte,
that?
hazelnut coffee.
Coffee. Okay.
I'm having tea.
Nice. Okay. What about you?
I didn't get
Shruti,
anything. I just quickly opened the laptop. I just logged in. I didn't get anything today.
Okay. Hi, Vikalp.
Hey, Gulin.
I saw that you were trying to join the conversation from a very long time. Yeah, some problem with the internet, I believe.
Now the conspiracy is going down.
Oh, yeah. So, okay, guys. So, cheers, everyone. So, let's start the episode. So, I welcome you all. Hi, everyone. And welcome you all to the 13th episode of Glass Half Full series. And I'm really missing my partner, Sakshi, who is a very natural facilitator and a great host, but she's on a vacation at the moment. And I'm really jealous because I also want to go on vacation. So I'll try to fill in and I hope you're all set. And so today's topic is really interesting. It's about modern day marketing. Is it a trick or a treat? And, we are seeing a lot of ads on TV, on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and now even on LinkedIn, right? And many times these ads are brilliantly curated, and these ads really get the pulse of the audience. And as consumers, we are more than glad to buy or invest in that product or a service. And while at other times we feel that we don't really need that product or service, but the ad is curated in such a way that we are kind of voluntarily forced. And yes, this sounds like an oxymoron, but but that's how it is, right? And we kind of we are forced to buy something or invest in a product or a service, and then there are products and services that are great, but we feel that it could be marketed better, and we feel that some ads are misleading or causing more harm than good, which is what we are seeing on LinkedIn these days. I'm not taking the name of the brand, but we all know which brand we are talking about.
I don't know.
Okay, you don't know. So EdTech platforms, I'm just
Achha.
giving you a hint there. And then we
Got
have
it,
other
got it.
ads also, like Tanishq and Brook Bond, and all those ads were really, taken down. So what are your views on, modern day marketing? What's happening in the current day and age with so many, influences like political, then there is situational like COVID, and there are a lot of trolls on the internet, and they're hell bent on, banning certain ads. So what is really happening today?
See, I just want to start and remove my frustration. I got really, really angry and annoyed when the Tanishq ad was banned. I think it was a beautiful ad. It was so beautiful, and I could connect to it, relate to it so much because I am in a similar state, Hindu-Muslim, Veer Zara kind of a relationship, and it was so touching, man. If you would have seen that, I don't know how many of us have seen. I'm sure Chaitanya has seen it. Anybody else has seen it?
Yeah.
Achha, almost everybody's seen it. What an ad! What? And it was so bad that it had to end. Love jihad. Are you serious? Where the hell did that come from, man? It's an old topic now. We are in 2020. Leave that shit.
Yeah.
And it was really frustrating. So I just want to start off with my frustration. I'm so sorry, guys.
No, I think this is justified. This is justified. Even I personally, I liked the ad as well, and I didn't see any. I mean, I had to watch it 2 or 3 times to really understand that what is wrong with the ad. It was really normal, like,
Actually, it just showed like how it should be, and you value everyone and each and other's relationship. And I don't know. I don't know what others have to say to it, but it was nice to me, but it was taken away from me.
Yeah. So let's take it from one step at a time. So what do you think has changed in the marketing from what it was maybe 10 years ago and what it is today? What has happened? Good and bad changes both. Who wants to give it a start?
Can I?
So I would like to give it a start.
Sure.
Okay,
Sure.
no.
Sure. Anyone.
Okay, please go ahead.
No, please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so it's like the way I've been observing the ad industry. First of all, it has gone like it's all a sensory overload nowadays. That's what I get a feeling. So it's like if I sit to watch a movie, right, on television I'm talking about, यार 15 मिनट का मूवी दिखा के 25 मिनट का ad दिखाते हैं. So it's like even the kind of things they have started off with showing a timer, like a 2-minute timer, where if like when the movie comes back, वो 2 minute के timer के अंदर भी there will be at least 7 to 8 ads playing. Like this is what my observation has been till date. So it's like they're trying too much. There are too many people. There are too many brands which are coming up with the same thing. मतलब पनीर टिक्का मसाला, पनीर लबाबदारी, मतलब you get the point, right? It's like every single person who is there selling out the same kind of product with the same kind of specification would have at least 10 ads playing, and that too it has become regional. महाराष्ट्र में कोई एक तरह का एक स्टाइल का ad वो लोग बनाते हैं. So after studying a lot of psychology, they design all the ads as per the region which they are going to have the most exposure. And this is especially happening in all the so-called metro cities. So it's like if you go to the interior parts of any state, as a matter of fact. So I've been staying, I have had experience of staying out of a metro city into a village where I've seen the television there also. पहली बात तो 50 से ज़्यादा channels आते नहीं हैं वहाँ पे. So it's like a very limited showcasing का उन लोग का चलता है जहाँ पे टाटा स्काई पहुँचा नहीं है, सिर्फ केबल चल रहा है अभी भी. So I've lived in those parts of for work, of course. So it's like it's pretty sorted. Their picture आता है, picture देखते लोग enjoy करते हैं. But the ad industry, if you see, it's like it has become a complete sensory overload in the first
So
place.
yeah,
इतना
so
जरूरत
that's a
नहीं
good
है.
point. There's a lot of sensory overload. Yes, Juhi. Yeah.
I completely agree with what Mayank is saying because
Hmm.
I don't think it was ever there, but I think now more so it's become the case
Hmm.
where there is no concept of consent.
Hmm.
You know, you
Exactly.
it is. I mean, तुम ना चाह के भी you cannot escape it.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to be exposed to certain things. You don't want your children to be exposed to certain things, and it's. I mean, like my dad always says, my dad is like every businessman is a bastard. I'm like, okay, dad, you need to chill.
Hmm.
But if you think of it, like for example, like Maggie, okay, when it came out, Maggie की कोई जरूरत नहीं थी. It was not out of a need.
Yeah.
They got out the product, and then they created this whole ambience around, you know, how you're a good mom. You know, your kids, even Horlicks, Bonvita, you know it's 40% sugar.
Yeah.
वो एक चीनी जो तुमको 40 रुपए किलो के मिले, तुम 400 रुपए किलो दे रहे हो उसके. Right? You know these things, but because of the branding and everything attached to it, the branding is not. I mean, the brand, you don't buy a product, you buy an experience, right? You
Right.
buy a social status, you buy a tag, you buy a standing in some circles, right? So whether it's a Zara shirt or an Harvard education, everything is today become about branding. And if you've seen on social media, the latest, I think, going fad or whatever you can call it, personal branding. Everybody has a personal brand. Everybody has a. So हमने products को छोड़ के now we started branding ourselves. We are marketing ourselves. And when does that stop? You know, when can you actually? So I mean, I'm not very pro advertising. I worked for advertising. I've worked as a copywriter for a couple of years and 2-3 years. And I used to feel like मैं घर बेच रही हूँ कि मतलब मैं मजाक कर रही हूँ लोगों के emotions के साथ. Because वो घर के idea के साथ you are actually selling, I mean, you're pushing people to be a certain way. You're molding how people think. And especially if you see children today, they have so much pressure just because they are told that, you know, constant messaging goes to them कि ये particular तुम्हारा ये look होना चाहिए, you should be into this kind of music, you should be this intelligent, तुम्हारा college का क्या brand है. Today, like if you're not in an IIM or IIT or if you're not in a BITS Pilani, you're a loser, right? So where does that genuinity of being a human being come in? That's my question. That's the only thing. When I saw the poster also, I was like, this is going to be really difficult for me to come up with good stuff about advertising. Because there,
But
I
what
don't
has,
see.
Juhi, let's dig, because lovely inputs there. Let's dig this phenomena a little deeper. So
Sure.
why? So what has really changed in human behavior, human psychology? Why are we so hell-bent on having our personal brands? Where is this insecurity coming from? Why are we trying to prove ourselves in a certain way? Where is this pressure coming from? And why are we taking that pressure? Why are we, you know, sinking in that pressure?
प्रेशर तो हम लेते ही आए हैं ना, चाहे वो शर्मा जी का बेटा हो या कुछ भी हो. लाइक इंडियंस आर नोन फॉर गिविंग प्रेशर एंड टेकिंग प्रेशर. सोसाइटल प्रेशर जितना इंडिया में है उतना शायद ही किसी कंट्री में होगा. यू नो, even the most fascist of countries do not have these subtle nuances which Indian living has, at least not that I have noticed. And on the other front, like, why is it happening? I think it's also because we get played very easily. We don't know how to think for ourselves. We don't know कि अगर मुझे 4,000 में.
Buyer's behavior is the right word, I guess.
Sorry?
What behavior?
Buyer's behavior is the.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we
Those are
don't
the right
know.
words.
Yeah, we don't know how to draw boundaries. We don't know how to make choices based on our thoughts, our knowledge, our understanding. We get influenced so easily. That's why we have the term influencers, right? On Instagram, everybody is an influencer.
Yeah.
And everybody wants to influence the other. Nobody wants to get influenced. But the funny thing is, ulta hota hai. We get influenced without even knowing. and it's very difficult to influence someone into doing something, which ads do very beautifully, because it's, I think, like Mayank was saying, कि emotions और उस सब के साथ psychology and the weak points, and you target that, and people are going to take it personally, and they're going to be like, ठीक है, if buying a bigger better car or a bigger better house makes me look better, I will do it, because nobody wants to look bad at the end of the day, right? It comes, वो इज्जत पे आ जाती है बात, like ego पे आ जाती है, not इज्जत but ego पे आ जाती है. So I think, and we are not very I think we are losing track of what really matters, and I think this COVID was so needed, because it has actually shown us. Tell me how many of us here have actually worn the branded shoes or the clothes or the makeup. मेरा makeup पिछले एक साल से ऐसे ही पड़ा है.
Yeah, that's
And today,
really interesting. Yeah.
and today when I use it, I have to wear a bloody mask. तो मेरी ना lipstick दिखती है, ना मेरा चश्मा पूरा time fogged होता है, ना मेरा काजल दिखता है. So it's actually pointless, and I've spent hundreds of rupees, thousands of rupees even, on it. Bags. I have 35 bags. I actually sat and counted, and I was in the market the other day, and there was a 30% off on a Urban Armour bag, and I was like, यार सही लग रहा है, ले लेती हूँ. मैंने कहा पर लेके जाऊंगी कहाँ? I'm not going on a trek. I'm not going to office. What am I going to use the bag for? And I mean, some of us at least have realized we need very little to survive.
Yeah, absolutely. Chaitanya, yes.
Yeah. So just to add to what Juhi said, I mean, I've heard all of your views. All I can say is, I mean, all of you are right in a way. So, Juhi, just to adding to your point about brands, I think in India the problem is we have become obsessed with brands. I mean, if you look at from a general perspective, that when you talk about a brand, having a brand is not something a bad thing, I would say, because when you have a brand, it gives you that assurance. But the problem lies when we as individuals become obsessed with brands. I mean, it's not only in, let's say, food, clothing. It's in everywhere. Be it education, as you pointed out. The like if an individual is not an IIT, IIM, or an XLRI pass out, he is deemed to be a loser, or he's deemed to be not so talented. So I think as Indians, we need to get that obsession over with respect to brand. So for example, let's say if someone is wearing a Benetton, or if I am wearing a TQS, which is not that a premium brand, but it's a decent brand. So I think we need to just get over this brand obsession thing. And coming to the marketing in modern times, I just have a different perspective. I think the core of marketing is still the same, but the thing is, it's like an old wine in a new bottle. So when you talk about marketing, in my opinion, it is all about not only the content, but also the intent, the situation, and the timing. So balancing out all these things leads to an effective marketing. So I'll just give you a few examples. So 2008 was the year, when this Imran Hashmi movie Jannat was released, and it released at the time. That was released at the time when the IPL started, which was a phenomena, in modern day cricket. And then, as a result, the movie got a huge. The movie was successful. So that is, one example. Now, if you see marketing trends today, from what I have observed, I think ultimately things have come down to social media marketing. Now people don't rely so much on traditional medium of marketing like print. Like if you're there, they would not look at an ad if it's there in the newspaper, because now the rate of information spreads faster. So let's talk about ads like Tanishq and all. I mean, as I completely agree with Sahil. When I saw that ad, I mean, it was a beautiful ad because it showed what India is all about, what intercultural faith is all about. But because of some anti-social or stupid elements, the ad went for a toss, and there was nothing. I mean, I didn't see anything bad in that particular ad. So what has happened is now social media has become the game changer, be it anything. So let's talk about this Baba Ka Dhaba. I mean, this food blogger Gaurav Vasan, he just did a simple thing. He just tried. His intent was to help.
Yeah.
right? But see, as a result, what has happened now? Baba Ka Dhaba, from rags to riches. It's a rags to riches story. From Arsh, as we say in Hindi, Arsh se Farsh tak. So I think social media has become a game changer today. If you talk about marketing in particular, and also I'd like to mention that because now the focus is so much on social media marketing, we actually have a byproduct of social media marketing that, in my view, is called memes marketing. If you see a lot of memes, so let's talk about, let's say, Mirzapur. So Mirzapur series, I mean, it had so many memes. I mean, though it was a series, it was promoted in a different way, but I mean, every other meme that you see on WhatsApp, it will have a Mirzapur element of it. So let's say if like an old man is, dancing, and so the next line is, "Arey chacha, beep beep beep, zara rest kar lijiye, warna rest in peace ho jayenge." I mean, there have been so many memes. To talk about another example, let's talk about that Binod wala thing. So that guy who used to
That was
write.
nuts, man.
So I mean, now what has happened is because of social media marketing, which is a game changer in a way that it can either take your brands to heights, or it can just rip your brand apart.
But
So,
Chaitanya,
and
what is the role of the brands here? What is their responsibility? For instance, let's take Tanishq ad for example.
I would
You have
like to
taken
add
that- yeah.
something on the Tanishq part, the Tanishq ad. I think I had only seen it once, and I don't remember it to be banned or something of that sort. But I am glad that it got banned because. So the reason I'm saying it is because there is this thing called a subconscious programming, which happens when you are too much into a habit. So watching a TV is habit. Going onto social media, scrolling all night is also a habit. So what we humans do is we are actually subconsciously programming ourselves by what we are watching and what we are viewing. So if something of that sort, which has antisocial elements in it, is banned, I'm glad. But at the end of the day, then again, I think ma'am was like putting up a good point ahead. I actually stopped her. So
No, I was just saying, yeah. So I was just saying, what is the responsibility of the brand? Because in my opinion, that ad was really beautiful and there was nothing antisocial about
अरे
it.
इसमें antisocial क्या था? मैं वही सोच रहा हूँ मतलब. I'm just thinking.
Anti-national about
national
it. But the thing is,
Mayank.
yeah. So the thing is, they removed that ad. So as
Yeah.
a brand, what is it that they are doing? Aren't they responsible? And I know that they also have their own majboori ki acha theek hai, because their employees were also getting rape threat and death threat and all that. But that is law and order problem, right? That is not the corporate's problem. Let cops do their job. Let government do their job. So what is the responsibility of the brand in today's date?
I think
Anyone?
if you were to ask me, Gureen, I would say that they should have stuck with the ad. If you were to ask me, but now there's a flip side to it, because now we are living in a country where if anything opposes the government's view, you are termed as an anti-social element or an anti-national. And
Anti-national.
now there's a flip side to it. Now, obviously, as a brand, your intent was right and the ad was appreciated. So ideally, you should have stood up for what you delivered. But now the flip side to it is, like the times are, these are tough times, and you have to survive as well. So it's a very thin line between standing up for what you delivered and it's survival. So that is what I can say, that now as a result what has happened is, uh, I read somewhere on Facebook that Rahul Bajaj has actually he was also about to, I think, deliver an ad, but because of the times that we are living in, because of the situation that is prevailing in the country, he's decided to back out. Because you know when it comes to your own life, मतलब जब जान पे बात आ जाती है ना, then nobody thinks कि यार मतलब सब अपनी survival के बारे में सोचते हैं. मेरा तो, I mean, that's my point of view.
Yeah.
I don't know, I mean,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on it?
What about you, Shruti? You haven't spoken in a while. What are you thinking? What are your thoughts?
No, I mean, I was just reflecting on the whole concept of marketing itself. I mean, it's something that we do in our daily lives. I mean, forget it, whether it's a brand. I mean, let's look at it like from the perspective of from the time we're born, right? Like a 3-year-old screaming to their parents saying, "This is the toy I want." They're sort of trying to persuade you to, in a relationship, we're always asking, what is it that I want? And I think it's just normal, like, because we're making a living, where we have a profession and we're in it for a reason. And marketing is just a very normal thing. Basically, you're out there in the market trying to sell and tell people what is it that you offer. And there are pros and cons. Like I remember, back when we grew up, if someone wanted to be a singer or to be featured on television, uh, you had to go to the Doordarshan studio, or you had to, know somebody in AI radio to, get your voice heard. And now it's so easy, because all you have to do is just log into YouTube and, I can upload a video. How it goes from there is obviously a different call. Yes, we can, have like uh, automated tools that can be used to make things viral, but how long something is sustained, I think, really depends on the quality of what you're putting out there. You can sort of fake it for a while, you can multiply it, you can try everything you want, but I think at the end of the day, it's about how much trust you've built, and what is the credibility you have at the end of the day. And that comes with time, and when people have used your services or product or whatever, and if they have a positive experience, I don't think that's something that can be faked. Maybe fame will be short term, but yeah, you'll see when something is sustained. That I
Yeah.
think that's how you can sort of differentiate it.
And I was wondering how consumerism is shifting from adults to children now. Now children cannot decide for them for themselves because they are little, which is why their parents decide for them. So what about children, with all these edtech companies showing dreams that your child can be a millionaire, can have like crores and crores of package, and the child hasn't even turned 10? What are your views about that? I mean, and there are two parts to it. One is coding or AI or machine learning for children. Is it good or bad? Or then there is something that, how do you market these products? Maybe these are good. Coding skill probably is a skill that may be needed in 10 years down the line or 20 years down the line. But what about the way it is marketed? What are your views on it?
I think to an extent, as a parent, and how you parent a child, it's sort of a reflection or a mirror of who you are. And what you choose to give your child, or how you exercise your responsibility, completely lies in your hands. So one mother might be okay, and another mother might, say, I don't really need this, or maybe it'll have to wait another 10 years. I think it's a completely personal choice. I mean, that's, yeah.
Interesting. So it's a personal choice. What about others?
I think
Anybody
choice
else?
lies in
Yeah.
your hand, right? Like you can't
Yeah.
really force it.
Hello.
But
May I
the
speak,
thing
please?
is, how much of choice are we even talking about? If there are 400 children in a school and you're going to tell all of them that, if you're not doing this, means you're lagging behind, which is usually what companies do. If you don't have this, that means you're not good enough. You become more worthy as a human being, not even as a person or as a man or a woman, but at your core level, you become of more value if you have this thing of this much value.
Yeah.
So when you have equated a person's self-worth and a child's self-worth, तो कहाँ ही बचा concept उसको कुछ भी growth होने का या self-aware होने का या कुछ भी होने का. Because, and it is a choice, yes, to the extent to which you want to expose your child to that or not, or to take up those classes or not. But the child who is being told not to take those classes, like for example, like when I was growing up, there was this family and the kids were my friends, 2 boys, and they didn't have a TV in their house, and they had all their walls in the house were filled with books.
Peaceful childhood, I would say.
No TV. And in the 90s, TV cable was a major thing. Like I grew up watching all cartoons and everything, and these kids wouldn't have, like, we had nothing to talk about what I would know, but they had so much to talk about, because they were like they would sit and read encyclopedias like they were reading Tinkle. But that parent made a very difficult choice and had to probably go through a lot of questioning by the child, and a lot of tantrums and a lot of like upheaval in the house. But then you, like you're saying, you make a choice. But then is that possible today? Like if you tell your child कि तुम social media पे नहीं जाओगे या तुम्हारे पास phone नहीं होगा, can we even do that? In a lot of countries, the child might just go and report you that this is mental harassment.
Yeah.
So I don't think we are being very fair to our children. Or वैसे भी अभी with COVID and everything is online, right? So
Yeah.
how much more online time are they going to spend?
Hmm.
They can't go out and play as much as they used to, or play with contact sports or anything like
Hmm.
that. But I'm sure
Hmm.
there are better ways to spend your time than enroll them into a future, like not even giving them a child. I think it's not giving them a childhood. It's making them mature too soon, like mentally, like
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
intellectually.
I
I, th-
think
I
like
think I think just to
marketing is
add to what Joey said, I think it's the problem with us as Indians is we always get into that bhed chal.
Hmm.
Problem with us is we always get into that bhed chal. So like what used to happen is like back in my time. So whenever after class 10th, whenever a child had to decide his career, the first thing that parents would say is, "Beta science ले ले, साइंस में ही
Hmm.
फ्यूचर है, अब तू कॉमर्स लेगा आर्ट्स लेगा, ये सब फालतू है." And I'll tell you, like, because my mom is from Kashmir, so in her family she used to get that people used to tell her, or in Kashmir there was a myth that okay, if you have scored well in your class 10th examination, then you should take science, like because there were two career options, doctors and engineers. And if you take art, it's like, oh, he didn't get good marks, he's miserable or he's very average in study. So what has happened with us is, or I think it's still happening, is we always get into that bhed chal thing. So
Hmm.
if once the parents stop getting into this trap of bhed chal, I think half the problem will automatically, be resolved then and there only.
Hmm. Hmm. Interesting. Yeah, Vikalp, you are quite um,
No,
behind.
I was just listening to what everybody's saying, and this topic came up from the discussion of Whitehead Junior. How they were promoting their brand and the kind of calls are being made to the people. Those are just inquiring it. But I had just one point that do you actually want to see a 6-year-old kid going into a coding class? There are, yes, but there are views of individual that it is an individual choice whether you want to let a 6-year-old kid go into a coding class or not. But many parents are saying that what happens to their childhood then? Yes, we are living in the times of pandemic where everything is online. Some of the kids now have got their specs on after the 7 months of watching online and everything, attending classes, watching YouTube, everything. So they've got their specs. So, and in my neighborhood, there is a lot of debate going on now because one child has admitted into Whitehead Junior and another one just inquired and they're flooded with calls, literally flooded with calls. The problem is not that they are running coding classes for kids. The problem is the way that campaign is being run. That if your kid does not do coding, then he will be nothing at the age of 13 or 14. If you're putting that thought into the mind of parents that your child would be nothing without coding, it's again like a rat race, which many of you have said that it's a rat race where we
Yeah.
want our kid to be a part of that race.
Yeah.
And there are very memes are coming up now on social media that some parents are writing. We offered Whitehead Junior the stock options of our child's future company when he will open up after going through this class, but they refuse. So it's a sort of memes have also come up now because the fees is not cheap. It's a very expensive thing. The promoter or the owner of this company, he started saying on LinkedIn that I saw my 6-year-old child learning, solving problems with the help of coding. So I thought of giving it a try and made up a Whitehead Junior. Your kid is
Sorry, could
special
you
kid.
repeat that? Could you repeat that, please?
Yeah. So the owner of Whitehead Junior, the person who founded this,
Uh-huh.
he wrote on LinkedIn that I saw my 6-year-old child solving problem with the help of coding. So it prompted me to bring it up as a startup, and he has now received a lot of funding for it. So and people were tormenting. People were just throwing punches at him on the comments that your kid is a special kid. Does not mean that every other kid in India will have to go through this coding from 6 to 13 years of age. And I think Gurlin, you also shared one post that entrepreneurship classes from age 6.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the point was that yes, you need to do marketing. Even in our times, we have seen marketing that Lifebuoy kills 99.9% germs.
Hmm.
That never happens. There are other ads also because that's a way of attracting the crowd.
Hmm.
But this marketing trend where you are taking the liberty of pandemic into forcing people to let your child enroll into something without which he or she will be nothing at the age of 13 or 14. That defines
So
that where
that's
we
what
are
I'm saying,
heading.
right? Like they're playing into
Yeah.
the fear. They're playing into that powered mentality that we have.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is that how do parents not realize what is good for their child? How are they
Because the
falling
parents
for
are
it?
also part of the system. They are not aware of all of this.
Actually, I
Rupam, we lost you there. Can you repeat,
actually
please?
I want to add to this. I think these ads, whatever is coming up for. Hello. Am I audible?
Yeah,
Hello, am I
you're
audible?
slightly better. You're slightly better now. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. So I was saying that this ads, Whitehead Junior,
Okay, there is
is
an
somewhere
erratic network.
creating a
Rupam, we can't hear
psychological
you.
pressure on parents. I think now parents want their
Rupam, I'm sorry, we can't hear you. Probably you can type your comment in the chat
I'll,
box.
so I'll continue in the meanwhile.
Yeah.
Now, what I see as a change, and when people said that, when few of you said that it's a rat race is going on, or it's the society which makes up those things. Who brought these changes? When I was a kid in school time, I was not forced upon that you have to choose science or commerce or arts. It was whatever you feel like you can do well in, go for that. So at least I was given a choice, what I had to choose on. Now it's a lot more freedom that whatever you want to do, you can do. So there is a lot more freedom. But still, when we say that social media has become a lot of attention seeker and you want to be influencer and you are getting a lot of opportunities over there for showcasing your brand, even now, when you just move out of urban cities and you go to some B or C grade towns, still people are much more grounded. It is this you see in all the metro cities. Maybe I could be wrong, but what the data suggests that in all the metro cities, it is about showcasing your status, that what you can do with all money you have got. People in B or C grade towns have much more money than we have in cities, but still they are grounded. They are not running after things. There is a sense of contentment they have, that okay, whatever we are doing is we are happy with our life. Over here, we are not happy with what we are doing or what we have. We are running behind something which we are aspiring for, and we are never getting that. And for that, we want to spend as much money as we can. In this lockdown period, in this pandemic period, uh, most of the people in my circle or in my contact list, they have become vloggers. They have started their YouTube channel, they have started their something on their own, and they are doing it. Why? Because nothing to do. We saw somebody doing it. I also want to do it. But are you satisfied in that? Are you happy in that what you're doing? How many people are happy with what they're doing right now? And if given a chance, how many of them would like to change what they're doing right now?
So we are losing a lot of sense of individuality, and especially children, before they even know who they are, they are being forced to do something which probably they might not even like when they turn probably 10 or 15 or 20, whatever.
I feel that after 2010 in India, it has brought a lot of changes in mindset of people. Before 2010, the exposure was not that much what it is right now. The companies who started coming after 2010 in India, knowing that the population boom what we have, and we would be doing anything. And it's a true fact. The amount of population you have in a country, depending upon the country size, everything will click over here. You look at automobile companies, people are saying economy is down. Where it is down? Look at Kia Seltos, Kia Sonet, Mahindra Thar, selling like anything. SUV selling like anything in the range of 10 to 15 lakhs or 16 lakhs. So it's all about the population we have and more we want. And because we are now, it's a very interesting thing of Whitehead Junior. The way they are promoting ads, they are using celebrities which people have seen from last many years. Virender Sehwag, and then there is this
Farah
lady,
Khan.
Farah Khan is there. Then you have multiple cricketers are there. Then you have
Deepa
film
Malik.
stars are there. Deepa Malik is there, and
Sonu Sood, yeah, Sonu Sood
yeah,
also.
so many people when they're endorsing it, and they're saying that our kid is doing this. Obviously, people will like if his or her kid is doing it, our kid should also do that. So one is who is endorsing it. The responsibility lies on them also. Will they be thrusting their kid into this thing? I don't think so. Just because they're getting money, so they're saying anything what they have to.
Because I just like to add one thing. So, as you mentioned that the role of influencers becomes very critical at this point of time. So I'll give an example. So, Virat Kohli, when he became a brand or he's still a brand, so one of the companies approached him to, do an endorsement for an alcohol. Even Sachin Tendulkar was also, approached. But
And they
he felt
denied it.
that, because he was a brand and, he is an emotion to the people of India. Both of these people, they did not endorse that alcoholic brand. And as a result, see, because, these are influencers. The people would, be eventually influenced by them. And, as a result, they might, start doing negative things. So I think influencers do play a very critical role, and I think this trend has been going on, since ages. Like let's say if let's say I talk about a Cristiano Ronaldo. So let's say if he is endorsing something, or he's playing for Juventus right now. If people who are Cristiano Ronaldo fans, even if they don't like the club, but they would still like it because there's a Ronaldo factor there. So yeah, I mean, influencers, they do play a very critical part.
Influencers do play a role, but on the other hand, the way it is being marketed now, why I am focusing more on Whitehead Junior is they say that if your kid starts learning coding at the age of 6, by the age of 13, he would be having a job offer from Google or somewhere, something like that. So they are showcasing you the dream of going to San Francisco, and you are here. So that seed is going in people's mind. Okay, if my kid goes into this thing, maybe he might do that. It's about the way you're putting it across. That is, I mean, some people don't know about coding at all, but they feel that yes, by doing this, my kid can be a super intelligent thing. Yes, we should do it.
सर वही तो खेल है ना सर, इमोशन का ही सारा खेल है मार्केटिंग में. टाइमिंग सिचुएशन से ज्यादा इमोशन का खेल है. अगर आप इमोशन पे खेल गए, then फिर तो then there's no
emotional connect. That's it.
I still look at the ads of 90s and 80s, and I guess kids who were in 90s, they were the fortunate ones because they have seen this transition from an old age, or you can say the old medium into the new medium of the digital era. So kids in 90s, they are probably the last generation who did not have that much exposure to digital medium at an early age like the kids are now having. So the ads in 90s, they were meant to entertain you. They were meant to bring a delight on your face. Ads in today's time is like, you should buy this one.
Yeah. It's almost like commanding and brainwashing people.
You're right. And it's as simple as, so Vikalp is absolutely right, everybody. And what I just realized is that it's more like, it's so heavily targeted now, na? Like somebody was saying, na, that I think Mayank or somebody said ke, how it is targeted. हाँ, मतलब it's like कौन से जगह पे कब कौन सा ad run करना है and stuff like that. So I think it's very targeted now. And ठीक है, अभी marketing would be that, and that is the future, because marketing, I mean, you need to target your ads and stuff like that. But काफी strong हो गया है, in the sense कि it's like, it's very.
Okay, so I would like to share one experience. So back in 2016, 2015. During my post graduation, ये same topic के ऊपर हम लोग का एक group discussion round हुआ था, जिसमें one side had to say on the negative aspects, other side had to say on the positive aspects. So now we are talking about big celebrities, big brands, how Sachin Tendulkar and Virat Kohli did not go for क्या कहते हैं alcohol promotion के जितने भी ads होते हैं. So basically, it's one thing to promote health consciousness, which every single sports person you will find he'll be doing it, as compared to the people who are actually endorsing it. There are very few. And drinking is not a bad thing. It is not a negative thing. Too much drinking is a problem. Too much smoking is a problem. So it's like, speaking on those aspects, I would like to highlight a very positive impact that marketing has caused in India. आप लोगों को अमिताभ बच्चन का पोलियो वाला एड याद है क्या?
Yeah.
हाँ, तो I'll tell you a little story जो मैंने रिसर्च किया था उस टाइम पे during our debate which was happening. So इसके पहले वो जो सबसे फेमस जो एड हुआ था उसके पहले 7 ads अमिताभ बच्चन did in which people जो हैं and this was specially made for people who are there in rural areas because they are the most influenced ones to the film actors, to the cricketers and the sports people who are there nowadays. And more than 60 to 65% of total 1.3 population of India is actually rural. So it's like polio ना फैले, तो 7th 8th ad में अमिताभ बच्चन को strategy दी गई थी कि he has to act as an angry young man. एंड वो पहले के जितने भी उसने 7 ऐड किए थे, जो लोगों को आना चाहिए था, फ्री ड्रॉप्स थे पोलियो के लिए, फ्री ड्रॉप्स थे, पब्लिक आ नहीं रही थी. बट जैसे अभी हम लोग की बात चल रही थी कि इट्स लाइक
कमांड,
कैसे इट्स लाइक कमांड. सो पीपल रिमेंबर अमिताभ बच्चन एज एंग्री यंग मैन. तो जब वो गुस्सा हुआ 8th ऐड में, तब जाके देयर वाज अ ह्यूज शिफ्ट फ्रॉम डिमांड टू सप्लाई.
Yeah. So my intention plays a very large role there,
Yes.
because it was a polio campaign. The campaign,
campaign.
You can probably use something like that, but that intention, that purpose is really important.
Really important.
We have got only 5 minutes left.
I'll just add one last
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who is from marketing background over there, who is into ad agency or something, but don't get offended. We are losing human connect.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I just sum it up that we are losing human connect, nothing more. And we are making like machines and robots and people will have to buy it. Whereas as compared to 2 decades earlier, people were connected. Now we are not connected with brands.
You are absolutely right. And I see this paradox. We are making machines out of human beings, but human beings out of machines.
I think just like to add, I'm sorry, just like to add that there have been some advertisements, as Vikas pointed out, the ads in 90s, and I think if I talk about brand, the consistency matters a lot. If I talk about Cadbury or a brand like Cadbury, till date, they have kept the same theme, like relationships, and that's why their ad has been successful. You talk about Cadbury celebrations in particular. What they have done is they've kept the theme consistent, and as a result, they have built an emotional connect with the audience. If I talk about Nokia as a brand, so Nokia is a brand that has not faded away yet, even though the smartphone business failed miserably in 2013, where the smartphone business was acquired by Microsoft for $7.2 billion. Still, Nokia is a brand which has an emotional connect with people. Even so, I think consistency is a very key aspect for brands to be successful. And of course, until unless there's a human connect to in any ad, then things just fade away.
And we are becoming intolerant.
Yes, absolutely.
Intolerant, polarization is increasing by the day.
That is
losing our democracy. Even democracy is being threatened.
Before 2000 and after 2000, life has completely changed.
Yeah. Very unfortunate. Any last comments from anyone?
क्या करें अब?
I think one thing I wanted to say about this whole polarity thing, that the comment someone just made. Sorry, I'm on a phone. I can't see.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah.
I think something that helped me recently, understand someone else's point of view, which was totally the opposite, was that you're on the other spectrum, like you're on the same spectrum, but you're on the other end. So somewhere there is a place to meet that person, if not halfway, then somewhere. It's not black or white, and black or white also, there are some gray areas where you can kind of try and understand where the other person is coming from. But abhi kya ho gaya, we only see our thing and we are just like very focused on ourselves so much, and I think social media has a lot to do with that, because it again comes down to, you know, yourself, your life, your perfect vacation or whatever, right? But वहां पे कितना empathy grow हो रहा है लोगों का आपस में, I really wonder. I don't think it helps in making you you know, better at being empathetic or friendly or tolerant, you know. And this phenomenon started with technology way before. Like simple thing like using a remote control, you don't want to watch that, you change the channel. There is no tolerance built up anywhere.
Yeah.
Except for the fact that, you know, when they were in the 80s and there were no remote controls, you would have to get up and change. Now there are remote controls. I have fan remote controls.
Yeah.
AC to chhod do,
Instant,
my
yeah,
fan
it's
has a
instant
remote.
gratification. It's on your
Instant
fingertips.
gratification. Yeah. And some way or the other, to build that patience and build that kind of tolerance is really important, because otherwise we are not going to survive.
Yeah, we are becoming like addicts. One is like you are addicted to alcohol or drugs, so this is also a drug.
Yeah, it's the hit is the same.
Yeah.
You know, there was this thing I was watching, it's a TED talk. The hit that's why they say don't give social media to children without supervision.
Yeah.
Because the hit of dopamine that you
Dopamine,
get after
yes.
getting likes is the same hit that you would get after doing a snort of cocaine or, you know, a shot of heroin. Your brain doesn't know the difference. So somewhere or the other, it is about making those personal choices, like Shruti said, that, you know, and we can't control the whole world, right? But what we can do, like, you know, coming to what we can do, I think making little changes in our own lives. Like I have personally, like what I've done, social media used to be a huge distraction, and a lot of my work is on social media. So I keep my notifications off, you know, so I don't constantly get pinged on Instagram or Facebook, and I don't have to constantly keep checking my phone. And it has really, I left a lot of groups that I was a part of. Because if you're looking for peace, you will not find it on WhatsApp groups, you know. So
Yeah.
somewhere or the other, that consciousness has to kind of come in, that will has to come in, that we need to make a change. If not in the world, you know, they say if you want to go change the world, go love your family. If
Yeah.
everybody did that, we would live in a better world.
Charity begins at home. Yes.
I agree with that. Like, I think to sum it up, like, at least for me, there are two ways to look at it. One, as a brand, how are you responsible? How are you, you know, marketing yourself ethically? So, for example, like how Fair and Lovely would say that, you know, using your ointment or the cream would make you fair, which is obviously not true, just not possible, right? And then there's also Dove on the other hand, which is doing all of these campaigns. They're also selling a cosmetic brand, but they're also like telling them that you're beautiful the way you are. And they've done so many campaigns to, you know, tell people to embrace your skin, you know, the skin you're in. So that is one, you know, from the brand perspective. As a consumer also, I think we need to sort of be secure about ourselves. We need to sort of learn to find happiness within ourselves. Because I think, at least for marketers, that is the loophole. The fact that you're insecure and that you're constantly seeking approval from, you know, what other people are doing. So that way, I can remember, at least when I was growing up, I felt like my parents were hard on me. But, you know, I'm sure they had to undergo a lot of pressure. Like I could see like all of my friends, for example, when we graduated or after our 12th standard, we would have a farewell party. And after the farewell party, there was one more party where the kids would go to the Taj and Oberoi's and, you know, all of these hotels. And we weren't allowed. Like, it's not that we couldn't go, but it was just, you know, a conscious choice that our parents made. Or, you know, hanging out at the mall when you're just in like 3rd grade or 4th grade. They just felt we weren't ready for it. And it didn't matter to them that, you know, 99 other parents are doing it, but they just stood the ground. And when they felt it was right, you know, they just let me be, you know, do what I wanted. So yeah, it is hard as a parent, and we sort of fall into this trap. There's a lot of peer pressure or whatever kind of pressure. Yeah, but if you can stay happy and secure about yourself, irrespective of what goes around you, I think nothing like it.
Yeah. Yes, Chaitanya.
Yeah, so I think to sum up is all I can say is it's just about, you know, finding the balance, because, you know, world is rapidly changing. It's changing at a massive pace. You know, it's all about how you are able to maintain that balance between, you know, yourself in what's happening, around the world
Yeah.
in terms of, let's say social media, or is what I can say. So
And
Gurleen, with
also
your
being, and I think also adding on to your point, Chaitanya, also being critical, question everything. If you see something, just question it. Why are you letting it, like, just be aware of it. Try to see that what are the levers that are being pressed in your mind, because otherwise there is no free will, there is no freedom. And I think to sum it up, I think I would just say, especially for white junior context, I would just say, I mean, it reminds me of this Carl Jung's quote, very small but very powerful quote. It says, "The greatest burden a child must bear is the unlived life of its parents." So I think that's all from my side.
Gurleen, with your permission, I just wrote something. I wrote a piece, related to this theme. So with your permission, if I can share it with everyone.
Of course, yeah, please.
So just before joining today's meet, just a random thought came to my mind. So with your permission, I'd like to share it with you.
नहीं, permission की जरूरत नहीं है.
अच्छा, गौर फरमाइएगा. So it goes like, इस social media में है.
You're on mute. Yeah.
वाह 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 वाह.
किसी का पलट देता है तख्ता, तो बदल देता है किसी की किस्मत. That's all I can say about social media. And now it's up to you how you're able to relate it.
Okay, wonderful,
That's
wonderful,
nice.
wonderful, guys. And thank you so much for taking your time and
Pleasure.
discussing it.
Yeah.
And that's it, guys. And have a good weekend.
Yeah, wish you the same.
Bye bye. See you next
Thank you.
time.
Thank you, Gurleen.
Bye-bye.
Thank you once again.
Thank you.
Bye-bye,
Thanks
guys.
everyone. Thank you.
Bye guys. See you.
Bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.